Good evening, students. In last session, due to some technical problem, I couldn't conduct the session, but now today we are going to see with accounting standard number 1, that is disclosure of accounting policy. And if time permits, we will continue with the accounting standard 2. And in next session, we are going to start with accounting standard 10 or 11. Chalo. So let's start. Disclosure of accounting policies. Friends, S1, I have not taken in the last session because it's already covered at foundation level, but in this batch number 5, as we are getting one extra day, so we are going to continue with accounting standard 1. So please focus, you won't get any video based on accounting standard 1 in batch number 4. So friends, what is exactly accounting standard 1? It is nothing but this is a general standard for disclosure of accounting policies. तो ये standard जो है एक general standard है, ये सबके लिए है कि आपने कौन सी policy कब adopt करनी चाहिए और आपने financial statement कैसे बनानी चाहिए. As you are aware that financial statement consists of notes to accounts, and these notes to accounts must contain some fundamental assumption if you are not following it. Okay, so these are some assumptions that normally we follow. And suppose if you are not following it, then you have to mention it as a fundamental assumption. So S1, disclosure of accounting policy. What are fundamental assumptions, sir? These are going concern, consistency, and accrual. You can see here, you can remember in this form, gas. Okay, so GAC, not GAS. So GAC is going concern, accrual, and consistency. Okay. So what is going concern? Going concern, as you are already aware of that, we already covered it in the financial statements, if followed or not followed. We solved one question based on this. Going concern is nothing but you will continue your business in the foreseeable future, and that is only the reason you are not following NRV method, but you are following cost method. Okay, so going concern talks about if you don't have to write it in the financial statement that our business is going to continue for the foreseeable future. It is basically assume that your business will continue for the foreseeable future. So going concern is nothing but the financial statements are normally prepared on the assumption that an enterprise will continue its operation in the foreseeable future, and neither there is an intention nor there is a need to materiality curtail the scale of operations. So beta essay now you are already aware about auditing standards. So these essays are issued by the ICI, defines a foreseeable future as a period not exceeding 1 year after the balance sheet date. Consistency. So second one is a consistency. As you are aware, consistency means once you adopted the policy, you should continue with that policy for in next years also. You should not change your policy except it is required by law, it is required by accounting standard, and for better presentation. So consistency is a principle that you have to follow in your financial statements continuously. While preparing financial statement, it is required that consistency you are following, and it is basically assume that last year policy you are continuing, and if you are not continuing with the last year policy, you have to disclose it in the notes to account that we continued with the previous policy. In that case, what will be my profit, and after new policy, what will be my profit, that you have to compare in your notes to account. That we are going to solve one question based on the consistency concept. So what is consistency is very simple. Last year policy you have to continue in the future. Okay, so it is called as consistency, and consistency is nothing but if you are changing your policy, whether there is any harm in changing the policy, not at all. So if you are changing the policy, you have to write it in the notes to accounts that we are changing policy. And second one, when you can change the policy, if it is required by law, if it is required by statute, and if it is for for accounting standard, and third one is for better presentation. So first one is a statute, second one is accounting standard, and for better presentation. Okay. Third one is the accrual concept. So accrual is very easy, that we are following from the very first day, and I already explained you all this concept. So payment and earned, payment and receipts are not important, but what is incurred, expenditure incurred is important, and income earned is important. So accrual concept is we are following accrual concepts of accounting, means we pass entry, outstanding entries, that expense payable, expense to expense payable, income receivable to income, income received in advance, income to income received in advance, and prepaid expenses, prepaid expense to expense. So these 4 entries we are following only because of this accrual concept of accounting. And if you are not following accrual concept of accounting, it is not allowed as per accounting standard 1. So it is assumed, it is fundamentally assumed that you are following the accounting standard 1, which is very, very important. Okay, so how many accounting accounting fundamental assumptions are there. There are three fundamental assumptions. One is going concern, second one is consistency, and third one is accrual. So going concern, what is the key word for going concern? That foreseeable future. Second one, consistency, policy must be consistent, okay, and when it can be changed, that required by statute, required by accounting standard, and for better presentation. These three words are important. And what is accrual concept? Important word is that expenditure incurred and income earned is important, and expenditure in paid and income received is not important. So we are following accrual concept of accounting: expenditure incurred and income earned. So please write it in the comment section that all three important words: for going concern, foreseeable future, for consistency. Yes, keywords are very, very important that you have to write it in the exam. So consistency, required by statute, required by accounting standard, and for better presentation, and accrual, expenditure incurred or income earned. So these I explained it 3 times, beta. So please write it in the comment section. Yes. So good evening to all of you once again. Today we may conduct session up to 9 o'clock because I know accounting standard are something which is a boring part, but I will make it very interesting. Speed will be faster, otherwise आपको ऐसा लगेगा आपकी बहुत ज्यादा नींद आ रही है. सो आपको बिल्कुल भी ऐसा फील नहीं करना है कि मैं नींद में हूं. दैट इज ओनली द रीजन आई विल टेक अ फास्ट conversation and not slow conversation. Okay, so please, if you think that I am very fast, you can comment it. Okay, हितेश जैन जी गुड इवनिंग. योगिता जी थैंक यू. बूस्टर डोज कल ले लिया था मैंने, और यस आपको पता ही है मैंने बूस्टर डोज लिया था और मुझे सुबह तक बहुत तकलीफ हुआ, बट नाउ आई एम फीलिंग गुड. आपके सेशन में आने के बाद तो मैं गुड फील करता ही हूँ. शुभम गुप्ता जी यस गुड इवनिंग. महादेव भारद्वाज जी, रितिका वर्मा, अंकित गुप्ता, जिनीशा, प्रीति, शिवम, पूनम, ईशा, उमा जी, तनिष्का जी एंड रफीक भाई मेमन जी. Okay, so good evening to all of you, beta. I am waiting for your replies. Sneha, Rakesh Patil, Ishan. Yes, good evening to all of you, beta. Nagalakshmi ji, good evening. So all 3 important words, I told you to write it in the comment section. All important words, please be active in the class in interactive session. This is not theory sessions which are going on, so you have to be very active in the accounting standard parts, otherwise you will really find it's very sleepy. रितिका वर्मा ने बहुत बढ़िया आंसर्स दिए हैं. सबसे पहले रितिका वर्मा आ चुकी है. गोइंग कंसर्न कॉन्सेप्ट के बारे में इन्होंने बात किया है कि इट इज अ फोर्सिबल फ्यूचर दैट वी आर गोइंग टू फॉलो. कंसिस्टेंसी, इट इज चेंज ओनली रिक्वायर्ड बाय लॉ एंड स्टैट्यूट, बाय बेटर प्रेजेंटेशन and by accounting standard. Okay, when change can be made. Very good, beta. And accrual concept is income earned and expenses incurred. Very, very good, beta. Sumit ji ने भी लिखा हुआ है going concern, foreseeable future, consistency follow. Same principle throughout the year, and accrual concept, expenditure incurred and income earned is important. So हेमंत जी बेटा good evening बेटा. यस साक्षी ने लिखा हुआ है एंड पूजा ने भी लिखा हुआ है. सो पूजा ने थोड़ा सा स्पेलिंग मिस्टेक किया है. फोर्सेबल का स्पेलिंग बेटा पूजा प्लीज रेक्टिफाई योर स्पेलिंग. कंसिस्टेंसी बुक्स कंपेयर्ड, और उन्होंने 2 आके पूजा रुक गई थी. आई डोंट नो व्हाई पूजा. यस Anitha I am is saying, sir, I like your sessions in the evening, but there are many students who wants my session in the morning, and 1-2 students are there who wants my sessions in the evening. Yes, great. So fundamental assumptions. Yes, one more time. मैं बहुत ज्यादा स्पीड में हूं क्या? प्लीज टेल मी कि इट इज वेरी डिफिकल्ट टू ग्रास्प द कॉन्सेप्ट. इफ यू थिंक आई विल स्लो डाउन माय स्पीड. Okay, so fundamental assumptions, remember this fundamental assumptions. If you are following these fundamental assumptions, you don't have to write it in the notes to disclose, because it is assumed that fundamental assumptions. So for example, in simple language, if I will give you these wordings. Okay, so suppose if my wife is writing that Mrs. Monica Sanket Shah, that Mrs. word indicates that now second word is her husband. Okay, so is her husband, that second word Sanket Shah is, you don't have to write after this Mrs. Monica Sanket Shah that Sanket is husband of Monica. Don't, no need to write it. It is assumed that if she is writing Monica Sanket Shah, it will be her husband's name that Sanket Shah is. Okay. Second one, suppose if Sanket Shah is writing that Sanket Deepak Shah, so that Deepak word, it is assumed in Indian, as per Indian culture, it is assumed that Sanket के बाद जो नाम आएगा दीपक जी is his father's name. Okay, so ये जो wordings है ये आपको समझ में आने चाहिए. So her husband name, if Monica is writing, her husband name is the Sanket Shah, that is second word, and if Sanket is writing, that second word is a father's name. So this is how you don't have to disclose it every time that हाँ मोनिका का वो पति है ना वो संकेत जी है करके, ऐसा लिखने की जरूरत नहीं है. So that is a fundamental assumption. चलो नेक्स्ट वन. Second one, fundamental assumptions में, if you are not following these fundamental assumptions, you just not required to be disclosed. Okay, but suppose if you are not following this fundamental assumption, in that case, this is disclosures. You have to write it in the financial statements. Okay, so suppose if you are not following it, then you have to disclose it. Okay, so this is very, very important. Concept of accounting policies. So, sir, this definition you have to remember. Accounting policy. I remember my inter course when I started first accounting standard. I wrote this definition minimum 8 to 10 times. This definition, and I had written that definition in exam also. Is very, very important definition. Accounting policies. Accounting policies. Okay. So what is accounting policies? Accounting policies refers to specific, you can break this sentence, specific accounting principles and methods of applying those principles adopted by enterprise in the preparation and presentation of the financial statements. So suppose if you want to learn any sentence, it's always better to break that sentence. It is always, in any case, in accounting standard, if you write properly in exam, you will get full marks for accounting standard. So this definition is very, very important. What is accounting policy? See the definition. Specific accounting principles and methods of applying those principles adopted by the enterprises in the preparation and the presentation of financial statements. So very simple, that principles. Now what are principles? For example, I am following first in first out method, or I am following weighted average method of inventory. It is called as principles. Depreciation, now better, this is not the policy. Now this is because these notes are not yet revised. So depreciation, you can cut it. So depreciation, previously it was a policy, but now it is estimation. Okay, so as per Ind AS, now depreciation is not a policy. Depreciation is the estimate, that you are changing the estimate. So policy and estimates are two different things which you are going to cover it the accounting standard 5 in group 2. So there is a change in accounting policy and there is a change in accounting estimates. Disclosures are different. Okay, and that you have to learn in the accounting standard 5, that is net profit or loss for the prior period items and changes in accounting policies. So that will be taken care by group 2 accounting standard if you are changing the accounting estimate. And what is exactly estimate? That judgments, that you have to understand it in the accounting standard 5. Okay, but here now what is the principle? Principle is nothing but inventory or cash flow. Cash flow, you are already aware about the direct method and indirect method. So this cash flow statement are always remember. So methods जो होते हैं कैश फ्लो स्टेटमेंट के, सो मेथड्स आपको याद करने हैं, डायरेक्ट मेथड और इनडायरेक्ट मेथड और इन्वेंटरी, दैट इज FIFO weighted average. So please note down this definition somewhere and please tell me this definition fast. You can write it in the comment section without referring it. Yes, you have to recall this definition. Chalo fast recall कीजिए. This is a specific accounting principles or methods of applying those principles adopted by the enterprises in the preparation and presentation of the financial statements. So just note down this definition fast. Okay. चलो अप्लाई कीजिए फटाफट। ओके ओके ओके, सॉरी, यस, हाँ हाँ ठीक है, वापस रिपीट करता हूँ। हिमांशु गुप्ता जी ने बराबर लिखा हुआ है, अकाउंटिंग पॉलिसीज आर द स्पेसिफिक अकाउंटिंग प्रिंसिपल्स एंड मेथड्स ऑफ अप्लाइंग दोस प्रिंसिपल्स बाय द एंटरप्राइज इन द प्रिपरेशन एंड प्रेजेंटेशन ऑफ द फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट्स। वेरी गुड, मुक्ता जी भी लेट ज्वाइन हुई है, नो प्रॉब्लम। बेटा हमने अभी तक पूरा का पूरा अकाउंटिंग पॉलिसी के बारे में बात कर ली। Now, yes, whenever there are different accounting policies, now it's very difficult how to select that policy. Beta, it's like your arranged marriage decision. Okay, so it's very difficult to select the your spouse. So, ये case में it's very difficult. Your life partner, whenever you have number of options. Okay, and in that, if you are confused, in that case, how to proceed further for having a partner. Okay, so अपने क्या करना चाहिए अच्छी पार्टनर मिलने के लिए, is similar to that. This decision is there. Okay, so accounting policy, because there are various accounting policies, and in that case, for example, SLM है, WDB है, now that is the estimation actually, but FIFO है, weighted average, and now you are confused कि sir which method I should follow. Accounting standard will tell you only guidance. Accounting standard will never tell you to select this method. Okay, so ये कभी भी नहीं होगा. So accounting standard is like your mother and father कि they will tell you कि बेटा ये 10 options है, इसमें से कौन सी लड़की select करनी है, you have to decide it. Okay, तो it's very difficult for accounting standard कभी भी आपके ऊपर pressurize नहीं करेगा कि नहीं नहीं इसी के साथ शादी करनी है करके, तो ऐसा नहीं होगा, ये याद रखो. So accounting standard what it talks about? It talks about prudence method, substance over form, and materiality. So while selecting accounting policy, you should see all these three concepts: prudence, substance over form, and materiality. Now, what is exactly the meaning of this? Prudence concept means all anticipated losses. All anticipated losses you should record first, and all anticipated profits you will record afterwards. Sir, what is exactly the meaning of this? For example, suppose closing stock. Now, closing stock. Now you have one option, that FIFO and weighted average. Okay. So accounting standard will give you the guidance. Okay, now closing stock you are writing on the credit side of P&L account or trading account. Okay, in simple language, and in the financial statement as per company format you record changes in inventory. So example, if closing stock is greater, means your income is greater. Okay, on the credit side, you are recording it. So if you show at high price, for example, if FIFO method today is giving you high answer and weighted average closing stock is lower side. So beta, according to prudence concept, you should go by weighted average method. Okay, so suppose if you calculate your inventory valuation as per FIFO method, you are getting answer 2 lakhs. You are getting inventory 2 lakhs, and as per weighted average method, you are getting inventory 1,80,000. So what accounting standard talks about? Accounting standard talks about that you should record inventory at 1,80,000, because today you will record income less, but your profit will be less, but in tomorrow's profit will be high, because ultimately after certain years there will be, now after certain years weighted average will give you the high answer and FIFO will give you the low answer. Okay, so ultimately your total answer will be same irrespective of method of accounting. Okay, but today there is a difference between method of valuation. So now which method, for example, if you are doing company's audit, and in that case, if that management is asking you about which method sir we should follow, and if you are giving the guidance, so you have to give guidance in a such a way that sir today it may be in loss but tomorrow you will be in the profit. Okay, एक simple सी case है, simple सी case, suppose एक बता रहा हूं मैं आपको. Now you have option after becoming a chartered accountant, that you go in the practice or you go in the industry. Now always if you are go with the practice, remember practice में जब जाते हो तो first year में you will get the lower amount. Okay, first 5 to 7 years you have to struggle, but after 5-7 years if you are getting a good clients and you have good rapport with your clients, in that case you will earnings will be very high. एंड वही इंडस्ट्री में क्या हो सकता है, इंडस्ट्री में आपका बाद में क्या हो जाएगा कि इंडस्ट्री में आपको पेमेंट अच्छा मिलेगा, बट अल्टीमेटली यू आर एम्प्लॉइंग फॉर एनी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन, और अल्टीमेटली आपके हाथ में कितनी पावर्स है, आप खुद के मालिक नहीं हो, मन में इतना याद रखो. तो वो केस में दोनों के पॉजिटिव फाइंड्स भी है, वो दोनों के निगेटिव साइड्स भी है. तो अल्टीमेटली यू हैव टू सिलेक्ट दैट पॉलिसी. समझ में आ रहा है मैं क्या बोल रहा हूं? सो टुडे यू विल गेट अ लो सैलरी और लो अमाउंट प्रोफेशनल फीस, बट टुमारो यू विल गेट दी high professional fees. So you have to decide in the according to situation whether you want to go for industry or whether you have to go for practice. Okay, so FIFO method and weighted average method. So FIFO method you will get today high profit, and weighted average method you may get a low profit. In that case, remember you will go with which policy? Weighted average policy. It is called as prudence concept. So according to me, you go with weighted average policy. But there is no harm that you are selecting FIFO policy. It is only a guidance and not compulsion. So this is only while selecting the policy, which method means how to select the policy if there is a confusion. Okay. Second one is a substance over form. Now what is substance over form? In hire purchase, you already seen that. Okay. In hire purchase, you have already seen that substance is important and not legal form. Now legal, as per legal form, vendor is important. Okay, but as per substance, hire purchaser will claim the depreciation. So hire purchaser will claim the depreciation. Why? Because of substance over form concept. So whenever there is accounting concept, okay, so whenever there is a confusion, who will record the asset? So always you have to look the substance and not the legal form. And third one, materiality concept. Now materiality concept says that if it is immaterial, then you can record it in the profit and loss account in simple language. Once I'm giving you the example, if it is immaterial, then it's okay. But suppose if it influences the decision of the user, then you have to see whether which one policy is a material one, okay, which is important one. So materiality means, for example, simple language में मैं बता देता हूँ. If you purchase fans for 2-3 fans, that electrical equipments for your Reliance company. Now for Reliance company 2-3 fans ऐसे ही लिया था employees के लिए, वो एक जगह पे चाहिए था, तो Reliance company will record this is an expenses. So it is, तो auditor ने बोलना नहीं चाहिए अरे fans सर 4 साल से ऊपर रहेगा, don't apply that principle over here because immaterial, that fans for Reliance company is immaterial. So this is just the example. So materiality, if it is immaterial, you can record it in the profit and loss account, it doesn't matter. But suppose if it is a material item, you have to record it on the asset side. Okay, so materiality versus immateriality. So this is a concept of while selecting the policy, you have to see whether it is material or immaterial. So how many policies, while selecting policies, how many points that you have to see? Prudence concept, substance over form concept, and third one is a materiality. So while selecting these policies, very, very important. यस बेटा सुशील जी, एंटिसिपेटेड लॉसेस अपने रिकॉर्ड करने चाहिए, नॉट एंटिसिपेटेड प्रॉफिट. तो ऐसी पॉलिसी सिलेक्ट करो जो आज लॉस रिकॉर्ड करेगी और कल प्रॉफिट्स रिकॉर्ड करेगी. ओके, चलो. सो टेल मी ऑल these 3 points. You can read from this slide and you prepare your own notes. Okay, chalo, I'm giving you 2 minutes. Write down it in the comment section, whatever the important points, and I will read for you. Okay, read from my notes. Yes, ओके, सो प्रूडेंस कॉन्सेप्ट, सब्सटेंस ओवर फॉर्म बेटा हेमंत जी, substance over form means in case of hire purchase, legal form is vendor. Okay, legal owner is vendor, but we are doing accounting in the books of hire purchaser. So depreciation will be claimed by hire purchaser because of this policy. So policy is that who will record this asset. So you have to see the substance. You will understand this concept in accounting standard 19 clearly. Finance lease versus operating lease. In that you are going to understand it. And materiality concept, I already explained you the line कि इसमें एक बता दिया कि भाई छोटे छोटे एग्जाम्पल मतलब छोटी छोटी एसेट्स भले होंगे, वो आपको 2 साल 4 साल तक रहेगी आपके साथ, तो भी आप एसेट करके रिकॉर्ड नहीं करोगे. यदि फॉर एग्जांपल माय इंक पेन मेरे साथ 3 से 4 साल रहे, फिर भी आई वोंट रिकॉर्ड इट एज अ एसेट, आई विल रिकॉर्ड इट एज अ स्टेशनरी. यस मतांजलि जी. प्रभास पूछ रहा है सर आप अपलोड करने वाले हो? यस, अपलोड करने वाला हूं मैं नोट्स. नो बेटा, दैट वाज द एग्जांपल. मुक्ता जी, मेरे एग्जांपल में मैंने वेटेड एवरेज का वैल्यूएशन लो साइड पे रखा था. यदि फीफो का वैल्यूएशन लो साइड पे रहेगा तो हम लोग फीफो फॉलो करेंगे. मेरे एग्जांपल में मैंने क्लोजिंग स्टॉक निकाला जो वेटेड एवरेज के अंदर कम आया था. No, just waiting for their answers. Okay, so answers I am reading. साहिल जोशी ने लिखा हुआ है प्रूडेंस ऑल एंटिसिपेटेड लॉसेस आर कंसिडर्ड बट एंटिसिपेटेड प्रॉफिट्स आर नॉट कंसिडर्ड. मटेरियलिटी स्मॉल एक्सपेंसेस विच आर नॉट इंपॉर्टेंट मे नॉट बी कंसिडर्ड. मींस मे नॉट बी कंसिडर्ड नहीं बेटा, इट विल बी कंसिडर्ड बट इन द प्रॉफिट एंड लॉस अकाउंट इंस्टेड ऑफ एसेट. Okay, so that was the example. You have to consider that expenses. And one another reason, you can write it as a miscellaneous expenses instead of giving any specific head. For example, if you are write it under miscellaneous expenses, also okay if it is not material. That okay. And तीसरा है सब्सटेंस ओवर फॉर्म. that legal ownership is not important, but yes, substance is important. Okay, okay, okay. When to change the accounting policy? Accounting policy has to be changed if required by accounting standards. Sorry, here it is required by law and for better presentation. I already explained you. And this chart is very, very, very important chart. Okay. So please, please, please explain me this chart. Okay. So first read it and then explain me. Explain me this chart. Okay. Yes, very good. Many students are responding, and these are the accounting standard in which you have your comments are important, because one-sided is very difficult for accounting standard. Okay, if I just explain it, you will definitely find it very boring part. Okay, चलो. सो जल्दी से मुझे बता दीजिए कि आपको ये क्या समझा है चेंज इन अकाउंटिंग पॉलिसी के बारे में. मटेरियलिटी, material in the current period, and no material in the current period, and it will be material in the next year. On this, you have one practical question, friends. So you have to tell me what you exactly understood from this. Nalini is saying, sir, slides are not visible. Clear hai na? Okay. Materiality in the current period, it means that amount is ascertained. If amount is ascertained, you can disclose it. And the amount is not ascertained. For example, if you are changing the policy and you cannot tell the amount, so then that fact has to be disclosed if it is affected in the current period. And if it is not affected in the current period, but it is affected in the next period, later period. So fact that it is not going to affect in the current period, but it will affect in the future period, that fact you have to disclose it. On this, we will take one question. Okay. So एक क्वेश्चन लेने के वजह से यू विल फाइंड इट्स वेरी इजी. You read this question first. Yes. See, you will read this question and you will get the answer, beta. Yes. You will read, please read this question.
Payment of 170 rupees
So illustration number 1. Yes, now I think you read it. In the books of Messrs. Prashant, if in the books of Mr. Prashant, closing inventory is recorded at 31st March 2015, amounted to rupees 1,63,000. So beta, as per FIFO method, you are recording at 1,63,000, and the company decided to change from FIFO to weighted average. So there is a change from the year 2014-15. On the basis of that, weighted average, now weighted average is giving you lower answer, 1,47,000. And realizable value, realizable, we never follow realizable value because cost or NRV whichever is lower. So we will move from 1,63,000 to 1,47,000, and this 1,95,000 is 97. So now my profit will get down by rupees 16,000, and that profit goes down by 60,000 that you have to disclose, okay, in your notes to account. So how to write the answer? How to write this answer? Yes. See, fact of the case. In exam, you have to write it in the same way. Prashant Limited decided to change. Only 2 lines. Facts of the case, you have to write it in the 2 lines. That Prashant Limited decided to change the method of valuation from FIFO to weighted average. As per, what is the provision of accounting standard says? Accounting standard 1. Accounting standard 1. Disclosure of accounting policies. Any change in the accounting policy which has material effect should be disclosed in the financial statement. Okay, so that sentence is important. Disclose. The amount by which the item in the financial statement is affected by such change, also should be disclosed to the extent ascertainable. Now in this question, you can easily find out the amount, and whenever their amount is not ascertainable, wholly or in part, the facts should be disclosed. Now see, my friends, okay, I already told you, yes, that sentence. So in tree diagram, I told you the answer part. So tree diagram tha hamara, material in the current period, amount is ascertained, disclose, and the not ascertainable. If you can't find out the amount, for example, in our question, so 163 to 147, we can find out the amount. Okay, so we will write that sentence that we change from this policy to this policy, and this amount is not ascertainable. तो आपको ये fact disclose करनी पड़ेगी. देखो हिंदी में एक बार बता देता हूँ. यदि आप अमाउंट को फाइंड आउट कर सकते हो, अमाउंट को फाइंड आउट किया, फॉर एग्जांपल 162 टू 147 जो भी अमाउंट है, वो अमाउंट मुझे पता है कि मैं फिफो से जाता था तो 162 आता था, या फिर वेटेड एवरेज से जाता हूं तो 147 आया, तो ये फैक्ट मुझे डिस्क्लोज करनी है. तो ये फैक्ट मतलब क्या कि अमाउंट, मेरा प्रॉफिट कितने से नीचे आया. पर यदि मैं अमाउंट ही नहीं फाइंड आउट कर पाता हूं, एनी पॉलिसी, मतलब इधर नहीं, ऐसी कोई दूसरा ये रहेगा कि जिसमें आपने पॉलिसी तो चेंज किया पर आपको अमाउंट के बारे में ही पता नहीं है, सो ये फैक्ट आपको डिस्क्लोज करना चाहिए. ये स्टैंडर्ड बोलता है. कंक्लूजन अभी देखो कैसे लिखोगे. द प्रशांत लिमिटेड शुड डिस्क्लोज द चेंज इन द इन्वेंटरी वैल्यूएशन and its effect also. Its effect, ये effect के marks है. Okay, so effect you have to write it, and how to disclose it. The company values inventory at lower of cost or NRV. Since NRV was greater than the cost, the company inventory recorded at cost. In the present year 2014-15, the company has changed from weighted average, to weighted average from FIFO, which better reflects why you change it. So reason has to be right. You have to write the reason. Better reflects the consumption pattern of inventory for ascertaining the inventory cost for earlier practice of using FIFO, and the profit, current year profit and value of inventory will be changed by 16,000. It will get reduced. It will get reduced your current year profit. Yes. Now you got the concept. So if amount can be find out, you have to write this. So this disclosure is required with amount. Fact has to be disclosed. चलो जल्दी से मुझे बताइए, got it or not got? So this illustration 1 in your study material is for change in accounting policy. Change in accounting policy, AP, change in accounting policy. Okay, Shivani ji. Yes, beta. You, Hitesh Jain, you can write this in own language. See, these sentences are very, in simple language also you can write. Previously company followed the FIFO method and now company shifted from FIFO to weighted average, which affects the profit, and its profit is reduced by rupees 16,000 due to change in the method. You can write it in the simple way also. Okay, in your own words, no problem. So you only write in your own words. Yes, I'm giving you 1 minute. Don't refer the answer. Everyone, I will read some notes to accounts. Every one of you, please you write it in the notes to accounts, how you are going to disclose it. Suppose if you are accountant, use simple language. Don't use this language. Okay, and tell me the answer. Chalo, Hitesh Jain, yes beta, ચાલશે તમે ઓન લેંગ્વેજમાં લખ્યું તો પણ નો પ્રોબ્લેમ. यस मतांजलि जी ठीक છે. Facts of the case, then analysis or provision of accounting standard, and conclusion. Case 1, very easy. Yes, beta, this is the actual way, Ayush Agarwal ji. Yes, Prabhas, very good. Inventory is undervalued by rupees 16,000 due to changes. But beta, you have to write your profit, how it is affected to your profit. Okay. Because reader is not from commerce background, so he won't understand undervalued and overvalued. You have to write how your profit. See, layman should understand this language. That's why notes to accounts are given, beta. Okay, layman must understand your language. So if you write undervalued, he will find it difficult. If you write how your profit will get affected, then it will be very easy for him. Please beta, write down the amounts also. Please write it, yeah. Please write it. It's for your benefit. These questions are really very tricky. Not tricky, but yes, students are not writing it in the way of ICI. And then you get less marks. Though these are very simple questions, normally students are ignoring these questions. Solve next question. Solve next question. Yes. Tell me in one line answers all these four questions. Jagannath Limited. Jagannath Limited. Yes. Read from your study material. Yes, beta Sneha, I am reading your answers. Don't worry. Don't write as per S1 disclosures in your notes to accounts. Okay, beta? So that is only the wrong thing, beta Sneha. Give me answers in one liner. All these answers. These are your study material questions. Please read from your study material. Read it, Ray. Read it fast. Be focused. Chale. Okay. Jagannath Limited. Right issue वगैरह ठीक है. In the offer document, they had a surplus of rupees 40 crores during the accounting year to an end of 31st March 2017. The draft results that they prepared on the either two followed accounting policies and they are showing deficit of 10 crores. Value year end at work cost 50 crores instead of valuation at prime cost. So tell me what happens. First is profit will be increased by 20 crores because 30 crores You have to write it on the profit, how it gets impacted. If you are recording at 30 crores, previously you are recorded at 30 crores and now you are recording at 50 crores, it means your assets will be increased by 20 crores and your closing stock on the P&L account is also increased by 20 crores, and that is only the reason your profit will get increased by 20 crores. So first answer is profit will get increased. Second question is removed from the new study material because it is not the change in accounting policy. Depreciation is change in accounting estimate, so we removed it, not the policy. Next one. Now, as per new study material, not to provide after sales expenses during the warranty period. Till the last year, provision of 2% on sales used to be made under the concept of matching concept against revenue, and actual expenses used to charge against the provision. The board now decided to account for expenses as and when they actually incurred, and sales during the year is 600 crores. So, 600 crores into 2%. It's a 12 crores. And now you won't provide this 12 crore expenses. As per new policy, you won't provide 12 crore expenses. So your profit will get increased by 12 crores. So second answer is also increased by 12 crores as per new policy. Yes, सत्यारिया जी, हो जाएगा आपका, डोंट वरी. अभी भी स्टार्ट किया तो भी 3 महीने में आपका हो जाएगा, पर बहुत मेहनत करनी पड़ेगी. Okay, beta. Okay. Beta, I am giving that time, Pooja ji, only to read these questions. If students read this, and yes, if you don't want this time after explanation, you can tell me, I can directly start with the answer part. But if you read this question and you think, and then you read the answer with me, you will find it's more easy. So that's why I'm giving you the time. If you agree, sir, we don't need a time, yes, I won't provide you any timing. Okay, so you can comment it, sir, should I give you some time to read these questions or directly I read the questions? Yes, you can tell me. I do not have any problem. I'm comfortable with two. Normally, I believe that students must read that question and then they interpret in their own way, and then they can see my way of answer presentation. It's my way of understanding the accounting standards. But if you think it needs some extra time, otherwise आपका time pass होता है, तो I can just skip. I will read the question. I will tell you immediately the answer. Provide for the permanent fall in the investment, which fall take place over the past 5 years, and the provision being 10 crores. So beta, this will reduce your profit by 10 crores. Okay, so this will reduce your profit by 10 crores. And as a chief accountant, you can tell them that your profits increase by 20 crores, then it is increased by 12 crores, okay, and profit is decreased by 10 crores. And please, whenever I'm giving you the time, yes, many students answered, Sakshi बोल रहे सर टाइम दीजिए, सीना जी बोल रहे टाइम दीजिए. We'll need to read the question time. Yes बेटा, but yes, maximum students के रेफरेंस से मैं जाऊंगा. But बेटा, जब भी आप क्वेश्चन रीड करते हो, 100% रीड करना है आपको, though you are getting it or not getting it, and you can ask me afterwards, sir, I'm not getting this question. See बेटा, third one, this is actually third one. There is a permanent fall in the investment value, and therefore your investment might be before this provision. Your investment is 300 crores, okay, and now your investment is showing only 290 crores balance. So there is a permanent reduction, and as per accounting standard 13, if there is a permanent reduction, you should decrease your profit. Okay, you should decrease your profit. That permanent reduction has to be recorded in the books of accounts as per AS13 principle. I already taught you accounting standard 13 ka principle, and this is how you have to understand profit is reduced by 10 crores rupees. Last question, exactly 4 minutes to read this question and understand it. I'm giving you 4 minutes to read this question and understand it. I know this question is bit tricky, but yes, make sure that you are reading it by your own. Don't waste your time. You have 4 minutes to read this question. Very good, Muktaji. Very good. Chalo, you have 2 minutes. Question is not very easy, sir. Last 1 minute. Chalo, last 12 seconds. 3 seconds. Chalo. XYZ company is engaged in the business of financial services and is undergoing tight liquidity position. Since most of the assets of the company are blocked in the various claims, petition is in a special court. XYZ has accepted ICD and it's making its best efforts to settle their dues. There was claim at the various rates of interest from lenders from the due date ICD to the date of repayment. So beta, it's very simple that company has some claims, but their position is not very good, and therefore their problem is of liquidity. They find liquidity crunch. The company has provided interest as per the terms of the contract till the date of due date, and the note for the non-provision of interest on the due date to the date of repayment was affected in the financial statements. So they have not provided any interest. They have not provided any interest from the due date till the date of non-repayment. But obvious, they have to record this interest as expenses as a provision on account of uncertainty existing regarding the determination of the amount, and in the absence of any specific legal obligation at present as per the terms of contract, the company considers that these claims are in the nature of claims against the company not acknowledged as the date. So my friends, this company loan is actually their borrowings, and the fact that their problem, their liquidity problem, is not denying any interest default, and therefore they have to record it as provision or as expenses in their books of accounts, and the same has been disclosed by the way of note in the accounts instead of making a provision in the profit and loss account. State whether the company's treatment is correct or not correct. So company treatment is not correct. Why it is not correct? Because company is following accrual concept of accounting. So you have to give a reference of accrual concept. So this question is basically depending on the accrual concept. Okay. So as per accrual concept, how to write the answer? Facts of the case. XYZ accepted the intercorporate deposit for the interest. Such deposit provision is not recognized due to uncertainty in determination of the amount and absences of any specific legal obligation at present. The company has disclosed the interest claims by way of notes to accounts. So as per accrual concept, fundamental assumption, the principal amount of loan is not repaid. The lender cannot be replaced in disadvantageous position for non-payment. So company has to disclose, so has to provide the liability since it is not waived by the lender. तो हुआ क्या था, मैं एक बार हिंदी में समझा देता हूँ, बहुत डिफिकल्ट जाता है बहुत से बच्चों को. तो एक बार ये समझ लीजिए कि कंपनी ने आज लोन लेके बैठे थे, लोन लेके बैठे, कंपनी की पोजीशन जो है ना वो खराब हो गई तो क्या हुआ, लोन लेके तो बैठ गए. अभी प्रॉब्लम यह है, लोन लेने के बाद उसका इंटरेस्ट, अभी ड्यू डेट भी खत्म हो गई और ड्यू डेट के आगे उन्होंने रीपे किया नहीं. ड्यू डेट से लेकर रीपेमेंट डेट तक वो बोले अरे ड्यू डेट तक का इंटरेस्ट ही हम लोग देंगे. अरे पर कंपनी जो जिससे लोन लिया था उन्होंने कहां वेव किया है, उन्होंने कहां अपना पैसा छोड़ दिया. ड्यू डेट भले खत्म हो गई रहेगी पर आगे कंपनी के इंटरेस्ट का मीटर तो चालू है, और ये मीटर चालू होगा तो आपको ये पैसा प्रोवाइड करना पड़ेगा. इन सिंपल लैंग्वेज, यू हैव टू प्रोवाइड दिस लाइबिलिटी इन योर बुक्स ऑफ अकाउंट्स, एंड दिस इज ओनली द रीजन that company is not following it correctly, and the repayment is not the due date se leke repayment date tak ka interest is to not to provide is not correct as per which concept? As per accrual concept of accounting. So this is all for accounting standard 1. Friends, my suggestion to you that you please go through all these illustrations. Yes, first take a screenshot of answers. Wait. Take a screenshot of answers in my way. I'm not going to provide you this. For this, you need to work hard. Okay. Take a screenshot of illustration 1. Chalo. Facts of the case. This is ILU 1. ILU 1. अच्छा, थोड़ा बड़ा कर लेता हूँ. हाँ, ILU 1. Take a screenshot. ILU 1. Conclusion. ILU 2. आर्ची अभी समझा बेटा? आर्ची अभी समझ में आया आपको? बहुत कंफ्यूजिंग था, आई नो दैट, इसलिए मैंने एक बार हिंदी में भी बता दिया आपको कि कंपनी ने क्या किया, उसको डिस्क्लोज नहीं किया बेटा आर्ची। उन्होंने बोला कि मैं क्यों इंटरेस्ट की एंट्री पास करूं, वो बोल रहे हैं कि मैं बस फुटनोट्स में बता दूंगा, एस 29 का प्रिंसिपल है, तो ये गलत था। चलो, सो ठीक है, we'll take this accounting standard 1. We have finished with the accounting standard 1. um, Today we'll start with one more accounting standard, that is accounting standard 11. If S2, yes, मेरे से रह गया है, otherwise I will finish one simple accounting standard, that accounting standard 12. That will be very simple. We will take a break up to 7:20, and after break we are going to enjoy that S12. So two accounting standards we have to finish it today. Okay. So yes, do you think that S1 is very easy? Just I will quickly revise for you. Accounting standard 1 is ICD, means intercorporate deposits beta. Pooja ji, it is intercorporate deposits. Intercorporate deposits. So it is ICD. Okay. So आपने एक दूसरे कंपनी को जो भी डिपॉजिट्स दिए रहेंगे, that deposits is given by one company to another company, but there are some restrictions on that deposits. S1 talks about fundamental assumptions. S1 talks about that selection of accounting policies, fundamental assumption, going concern, accrual, consistency, selection of accounting policy, substance over form, materiality, and prudence concept. And after that, if you are not following that materiality concept, or suppose that amount is getting changed after due to change in the policy, that question is very, very important. So here we have finished with the accounting standard 1. If you have any query related to accounting standard 1, you can ask me now. Otherwise, we will start with fresh accounting standard, that is accounting standard 12 after break. S2 जो है वो प्लीज, मैं मुझे पता है S2 रह गया है, I know that S2 is still remaining, but we will try to cover because we have some few days, and suppose if time permits, I will take it in the after 8:30. So first we will finish with accounting standard 12, and then we are going with accounting standard 2 if time permits. Otherwise, I will provide you recorded session for that. Yes, beta. अकाउंटिंग स्टैंडर्ड 2 का पार्ट प्रभास विल टेक इट। चलो, तो टेक अ ब्रेक ऑफ 10 minutes एंड विल मीट आफ्टर द ब्रेक। सो ब्रेक लिया जाए राम जी, राम जी ब्रेक ले लीजिए। Welcome to Accounting Standard 12. Now see, this is government grants. Accounting Standard 12 is a government grant. So first question to your mind, so why this standard? Before starting any standard, first question is why, and second question is whether this is accounting standard or disclosure standard. Can you tell me it in the comment section whether this is accounting standard or disclosure standard? Yes, fast. अभी आज पूरा theory है, so पूरा theory part आज समझ लेंगे हम लोग. 1 minute हाँ बेटा, just opening comment query. हाँ, S1 actually it was not difficult, but the problem is that okay. Accounting Standard 12, government grant, is not the accounting disclosure standard. It is an accounting standard. It is an accounting standard means it talks about your entry. It talks about RMPD analysis. What is RMPD analysis? Recognition, measurement, disclosure, and presentation, and then disclosures. That was the RMPD analysis which we already covered. So, beta, Accounting Standard 12, government grants. It talks about how to do accounting for grant. Okay. So, first question, sir, what is grant? So, that is the first question. How many points we are going to cover in this AS12? This is the accounting standard. Okay. Sahil ji, other students are also answering. Please, if you have any query, now accounting standard 1 is already over, so I can't answer your questions of accounting standard 1. You please just check my recorded sessions and page numbers for that. You will get it in the chapter number 3, accounting standard 1. So now, first one, what is the meaning of government grant? So sir, government grant is nothing but any assistance which you receive in the form of cash or in the form of kind. So first one, it is the assistance given by the government in the form of cash or in the form of kind. Okay, so cash or kind. And remember, why it is given? Because you have to follow some conditions. That conditions might be current conditions or past conditions that you have to follow, or future conditions. In future also you may follow some conditions, then only you will get the grant. Otherwise you have to refund your government grant. So this is the one line part for a part of future compliances with certain condition, exclusions, normal trading transactions. For example, if you deal with the government, for example, if your company is a weapons manufacturing company and you're getting some cash from the government because of normal purchase or sales, it is not the grant, but it is actually sales to government. Okay, so एक बार याद रखो, गवर्नमेंट के साथ आप ट्रांजैक्शंस करते रहोगे तो ये स्टैंडर्ड में कवर नहीं होता कि गवर्नमेंट ने आपने इलेक्ट्रिसिटी सप्लाई किया तो ये इस स्टैंडर्ड में कवर नहीं होगा. ये याद रखो, इट इज द गवर्नमेंट विच इज गिविंग यू द कैश असिस्टेंस. इट इज अ हेल्प विच इज गिवन बाय द गवर्नमेंट in the form of cash or in the form of kind. For why? Because for part or future compliances with certain conditions. So conditions are very, very important for government grant. Okay. Yes. Past or yes बेटा, पार्ट नहीं, वो है पास्ट और फ्यूचर. गलती से पार्ट हुआ है, पास्ट और फ्यूचर कंप्लायंसेस. सो इट्स अ टाइपिंग मिस्टेक. सो पार्ट नहीं, इट्स अ पास्ट. Past or future compliances. Okay. So take a screenshot and it is a past, not a part. You can write it afterwards. Second one. Now, what is the introduction part? Introduction part, accounting for government grant. So basically subsidies, cash incentives, and duty drawbacks. Duty drawbacks will be taken care by your GST faculty. I'm not going to explain it now because this is duty drawback is something which is a subsidy, one type of subsidy you can say it as, not recognized till reasonable assurance that enterprise will comply. So suppose if you are not complying any conditions which are attached. For example, suppose if you have to form your company in the backward area, and if you are not forming your company in the backward area, or you are not hiring any employees from the backward area, in that case you will not get any grant. So this conditions has to be fulfilled. So reasonable assurance, suppose if reasonable assurance is there, that reasonable assurance means you are going to fulfill that conditions. In that case only, yes, till that point you are not going to recognize. Okay, एक बार हिंदी में बता देता हूँ, not recognize मतलब आप तब तक रिकॉर्ड नहीं करोगे जब तक आपको रीजनेबल एश्योरेंस नहीं आता है कि गवर्नमेंट है भाई कब चेंज होगी, कुछ बोल नहीं सकते, पलटी कब मारेगी। तो यहाँ पे गवर्नमेंट से जब तक आपको ये नहीं समझ में आता कि मुझे वो असिस्टेंस मिलने वाला है, या आपको सिर्फ आपने एक काम कर दिया, सोलर का एक कुछ तो बिठा दिया, पर गवर्नमेंट बोल रहा है मैं पैसा ही नहीं दूंगा, तो क्यों रिकॉर्ड कर रहे हो वो गवर्नमेंट ग्रांट? जब तक आपको ये सब डॉक्यूमेंटेशन पार्ट कंप्लीट नहीं होते, और जब तक आपको मन को ये नहीं लगता है कि ये रीजनेबल एश्योरेंस नहीं होता है, तब तक आपको वो कंप्लाई नहीं करना है। एग्जाम्पल में देता हूं तो आपको यस एकदम बेसिकली समझ में आएगा, एकदम इजीली समझ में आएगा। सपोज मैंने शादी की है मेरे वाइफ से, तो अभी शादी करने के बाद यस बट ऑब्वियस वाइफ से ही शादी करूंगा भाई। हाँ, तो अभी शादी करने के बाद मुझे लगा था मेरे ससुर जी मुझे पैसा दे देंगे। क्या लगा मुझे? मेरे ससुर जी मुझे पैसा दे देंगे, ये मुझे लग रहा है कि मैंने उसके साथ शादी किया इसलिए मुझे पैसा आएगा। जब तक मुझे ये एश्योर नहीं होता है, जब तक वो कुछ डीड नहीं बनाते, कुछ विल नहीं बनाते, तब तक मैं कैसे मान लूं कि वो मुझे पैसा देंगे? तो रीजनेबल एश्योरेंस तब आएगा जब उन्होंने विल में मेरे बीवी का भी नाम रखा होगा, तो मैं बोल सकता हूँ कि ये पैसा मेरे घर में आएगा और वापस मेरे बीवी ने भी मुझे वो पैसा देना चाहिए। तो जब तक वो रीजनेबल एश्योरेंस नहीं होता है तब तक मैं बोल नहीं सकता हूँ कि ये पैसा मेरा हो गया करके। तो ससुर जी की जायदाद मेरी होगी, ये कब मैं बोलूंगा? जब व्हेन आई विल बी रीजनेबली एश्योर्ड। ओके, सो रीजनेबली एश्योर्ड जब तक नहीं होता हो तब तक मैं उसको मेरा इनकम नहीं बोल सकता हूं। तो इसी केस में अभी सपोज यहाँ पे ससुर जी मतलब क्या हो गए? ससुर जी मतलब गवर्नमेंट हो गया और मैं हो गई एंटरप्राइज। तो एंटरप्राइज जब तक रीजनेबली एश्योर नहीं होता है कि अपने को वो पैसा आएगा, तब तक हम लोग क्या नहीं करेंगे? तब तक हम लोग गवर्नमेंट ग्रांट रिकॉर्ड नहीं करेंगे। अंडरस्टूड द कॉन्सेप्ट? यस सर, वेरी इजी, वेरी इजी। नॉट रिकॉग्नाइज टिल रिकॉग्निशन इज एश्योर्ड। ओके, रीजनेबली एश्योरेंस, रीजनेबली, रीजनेबल इज नॉट 100% एश्योरेंस, but it's a reasonable assurance. Enterprise will comply with the condition, yes, but obvious to get the government grant you have to comply with such conditions which are attached to it, and government grant will be received. So 100% नहीं बोल सकते, but reasonably assured that you will get the grant. Okay, take the screenshot. Okay. What is scope in and scope out? Very good, Pooja ji. Chaliye. Now we will move to next part. Now, scope. Now, what is scope in and scope out for this standard? Scope-ins. Now, scope-ins is non-monetary government grant. Now, what is non-monetary? Non-monetary means here it is which is not in the form of cash. Okay, so non-monetary means which is not in the form of cash. Second one, related to fixed asset. So this standard is basically divided into 4 parts. Very, very, very important parts. चलो चारों parts आपको लिखना है comment section में. First one it is related to non-monetary government grant. Second one is related to fixed asset. Third one is the revenue in nature, and fourth one is a promoter's contribution. Okay, so this standard is divided in 4 parts. One is non-monetary. चलो जल्दी जल्दी लिखो. Non-monetary. Non-monetary means which is not received in the cash. Second one related to fixed asset. Third one related to revenue, and fourth one is related to promoter's contribution. चलो जल्दी से कमेंट सेक्शन में भी लिख दीजिए. दिस स्टैंडर्ड इज बेसिकली डिवाइडेड इन 4 पार्ट्स. This standard is basically divided in 4 parts. Yes, accounting standard 12 applies means in scope in, and scope out means S12 is not applicable. Yes, beta. Very good, Madala Naidu ji. Scope in and scope outs. Non-monetary government grant related to fixed asset, revenue in nature, and promoter's contribution. Write down on comment section. The standard is divided in 4 parts. Non-monetary government grant, fixed asset, revenue in nature, promoter's contribution. Yes, talk to yourself for minimum 5 times. Non-monetary government grant related to fixed asset, revenue in nature, and promoter's contribution. NRRP. NRR, non-monetary government grant. R for revenue, R for related to fixed asset, and P for promoter's contribution. NRRP. Yes. चलो 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 चलो. Yes, whenever I'm telling you to write, please write it. हमेशा मैं ये guidance नहीं दूंगा. It does not deals with effects of changing in prices. If prices are changing, that government petrol prices are changing, it is not better applicable. This government grant, why it will take care of that? Yes, and if you are getting any grant, if GST exemption is there, don't record this. GST exemptions are not covered here. Any income tax exemption or GST exemptions. And suppose if government is acting like owners in this enterprise, so government has a stake. Okay, so if they are owner of the business, it's not promoter, they are owners. So every time they are also taking some dividend out of this. So promoters and ownership is different. They are actively participation. And if they are actively participates in day-to-day business, it is called as government participation in the ownership. If promoters contribution, just they help you out, okay, to start your company. It is a government contribution. So there is a difference between ownership and promoters contribution. Promoters contribution means government will not take care of day-to-day activities, but when they participate, they will look into day-to-day matters also. So when they look into day-to-day matters, it is not deals with, and if it is a promoters contribution, then it is AS 12 applicable. Okay, so take a screenshot, not deals with. Okay, so till now it's okay, beta. चलो आगे बढ़ते. Now what is accounting treatment? Accounting treatment is basically divided in two parts. One is capital approach and second one is income approach. Capital approach means grant is part of shareholders fund. Capital approach and income approach means it is a revenue in nature. So you will transfer it to profit and loss account. So here it is a promoter's contribution, and here in case of other grants, income approach. So accounting treatment, yes, you can divide it. Accounting treatment. Yes, accounting treatment, you can tell me what is the accounting treatment, capital approach and income approach. Take a screenshot, very, very important. Take a screenshot, capital approach and income approach. So you can tell me both of this in comment section, which approaches that you are following. एक ही मिनट. Some technical problems with my comment sections. Okay, चलिए. Now focus. अरे यार, इंटर इवनिंग. हाँ, focus beta. Capital approach and income approach. So what is the difference between capital approach and income approach? Capital approach is a part of shareholders funds and income approach. Very good beta Hitesh Jain. Okay, चलिए. So capital approach is a shareholders approach and income approach for other funds, promoters contribution छोड़ के. So recognition, when to recognize, don't take reasonable assurance. We already covered that. If enterprise will comply with the condition attaching to their it, and the grant will be received. Okay. So here now one by one we are moving beta. Non-monetary government grants. What do you think? Now please have a question answer session. Now have a question answer session. What do you think? Yes, every one of you, please think. Non-monetary government grant. So you have to answer me. Yes, question answer session में. What do you think? What is non-monetary? ओके प्रीति, ठीक है. कैपिटल अप्रोच एंड इनकम अप्रोच. Non-monetary government grant. What do you think? What about non-monetary government grant? Non-monetary means beta land and other sources. So other sources means if you are getting it at very concessional rate. So land recorded at nominal value. If you are getting government grant in the form of land, free of cost. Other sources given at concessional rate or free of cost. If government is giving anything, other sources at concessional rate, non-monetary means which is not in the form of cash. Okay. Concessional rate and free of cost. So here, if concessional rate, then recorded at acquisition cost, and free of cost, then recorded at nominal value. So concessional rate, at that rate at which we received it. Okay. Very simple. Non-monetary means not in cash. Okay. Very good Ankit Gupta ji. प्रथम बंसल, वेरी गुड बेटा. प्रभास ने भी बताया, करेक्ट है. सो दिस चार्ट इज वेरी हेल्पफुल टू यू. तो देखो, नॉन मॉनिटरी मतलब आपको कैश पे नहीं मिला, इसको बोलते हैं नॉन मॉनिटरी. यदि आपको गवर्नमेंट ने लैंड दिया तो इट विल बी रिकॉर्डेड एट नॉमिनल वैल्यू. ओके. सो फ्री ऑफ कॉस्ट दिया तो 100 रुपए, 200 रुपए, 500 रुपए या 1 लाख रुपए, जो भी आपको नॉमिनल वैल्यू लगती है उस पर आप रिकॉर्ड कर सकते हो. एंड अदर सोर्सेज अदर देन लैंड, आपको कुछ कंसेशनल रेट पे मिला होगा तो यू विल रिकॉर्ड इट एट एक्विजिशन कॉस्ट और रिकॉर्डेड एट नॉमिनल वैल्यू. टेक अ स्क्रीनशॉट. Very easy question. Okay. गवर्नमेंट इज प्रोवाइडिंग यू स्टील, गवर्नमेंट इज प्रोवाइडिंग यू सीमेंट, कुछ भी रेती प्रोवाइड किया, सैंड प्रोवाइड किया, तो दैट इज एट कंसेशनल रेट होगा या फ्री ऑफ कॉस्ट होगा, कुछ भी गवर्नमेंट ने प्रोवाइड किया आपको, सो उसके बारे में. सो अदर्स मीन्स एनीथिंग ना बेटा. ओके. सेकंड वन, if government grant is related to fixed asset. So beta, we are going to solve one question based on this concept. Government grant is related to fixed assets. So first one, non-monetary. Non-monetary, you understood it. So non-monetary matlab kya? Non-monetary matlab land or other sources. Land is recorded at nominal value, other sources at concessional rate and free of cost. Concessional rate pe hoga to that cost, and free of cost hoga to nominal rate. Once again, okay. Second one is related to fixed asset. Second one is related to fixed asset. So understand it now. We are going to solve one question based on this concept related to fixed asset. Every one of you. First, take a screenshot of this and I will explain you this concept. Deduction from asset. Take a screenshot. Wait. Take a screenshot. Take a screenshot. Okay, option 1, option 2. Yes. On this concept, we are going to follow one illustration. चलिए, तो एक illustrations पे आ जाइए. बेटा, we have not paid a single amount, still 100 rupees पे record करना पड़ता है. That land is with you. That is only the reason. Good question by Pooja ji. Sir, we have not paid a single amount. Still, we have to record land. Yes, beta. Otherwise, what happens? That land, if you don't record it, at least your reader, he is aware of that you have one land having 100 rupees. You can give explanation that that land is showing at rupees 100. Why? Because it is getting at free of cost. Just to disclose to your shareholders that we have one land which we got for free of cost. समझ में आया पूजा जी? Yes. I'm giving you one question. Page number 'Yes, फटाफट लीजिए एक गवर्नमेंट ग्रांट का एग्जांपल. लेट्स सी हाउ मेनी ऑफ यू कैन सॉल्व दिस क्वेश्चन. पेज नंबर 11. Yes, read it carefully. Try to understand that you have deducted grant. So this is a deduction from fixed asset. You can refer the answer. I am giving you exactly 5 minutes to understand it. And this is the option number 1 that you have. And then I will explain it. You can take a help of ICI answer, study material answer. I'm giving you 5 minutes. You go through question first and then tell me illustration number 1 ka answer. Are you getting it or not? I will explain it very simple question. 4 minutes, beta. 4 minutes. Only 4 minutes you have. Last 15 seconds. So you purchase one asset of rupees 50 lakhs. So 50 lakhs is the asset's value. Salvage value 5 lakhs is helpful for depreciation. And you got a grant of 10 lakhs. So grant 10 lakhs minus 5 lakhs divided by how many years that you have? 5 years. So 50 minus 10 minus 5 divided by 5 years. So depreciation is 7 lakhs. So depreciation is after deducting grant value. So fixed asset to bank, you got the entry, fixed asset comes in and bank what goes out, balance, bank balance. Bank balance comes in or bank is a receiver, bank actually personal account, cash or bank, and fixed asset goes out. So grant, you deduct it. So this is the option number 1. Then depreciation to fixed asset, that is a 7 lakhs, and P&L to depreciation, it's very easy. And again depreciation to fixed asset and P&L to depreciation. So first option you got the concept. So what is the first option? First option is that reduction from asset. Now what is the second concept? Second one is that you open deferred GG account. You open deferred GG account, and this deferred GG is showing credit balance whenever you are receiving grant. Yes, I'm going to explain it. First, I will provide you the information what accounting standard 12 talks about, and this is amortized over asset life. Okay, so now what is this concept? Is deferred income, which is recognized in P&L over the useful life, and for non-depreciable asset, it is credited to capital reserve. If non-depreciable asset, you have certain obligations, it is also covered under income. And illustration number 2. Yes, again, you have exactly how much? 4 minutes. You go through this option, illustration number 2. चलो इलस्ट्रेशन नंबर 2 को कवर कीजिए. 4 मिनट्स है आपके पास, जितना हो सकता है वो खुद से सॉल्व कीजिए. यस, सो फर्स्ट ऑप्शन यू हैव डिडक्शन फ्रॉम द एसेट. सेकंड ऑप्शन यू हैव डेफर्ड जीजी. सो मैं नहीं बताऊंगा, फर्स्ट यू थिंक ऑन दिस. 4 मिनट्स है. In first illustration, you deducted it from the fixed asset. In second illustration, you created deferred GG. Please understand the difference. चलिए, सो विल यू एक्सप्लेन? बस हो गया 3 मिनट, बहुत देर ले लिया। सी 50 lakhs की ग्रांट्स है, salvage value 5 lakhs. Okay, now in this question, depreciation is 50 lakhs minus 5 lakhs divided by 5 years. So depreciation is 9 lakhs. And this 10 lakhs, you will record it as deferred GG. Deferred GG, government grant, deferred government grant. And 10 lakhs every year in P&L, you will transfer 2 lakhs rupees. So depreciation on the debit side of P&L and deferred GG is 2 lakhs rupees P&L credit side. Fixed asset beta, asset comes in to bank, cash goes out, real account, bank is a personal actually, giver भी लिख सकते हो, cash balance comes in. Deferred GG is a temporary account, and now this temporary account, where to show this under liability side. So is the question, that is a question to you. Depreciation to asset 9 lakhs and P&L to depreciation 9 lakhs and deferred GG to P&L 2 lakhs. So what is the basic difference between ILU 1 and ILU 2? Yes, you can note down it somewhere. ILU 1 and ILU 2. In ILU 1, government grant, deduction from asset. And ILU 2, government grant, deferred GG on the liability side. Where to show beta deferred GG is a question to you. Where to show it? Now, here, beta deferred GG means deferred government grant. GG means what? GG means government grant. Asset is equal to year 0, 0 year. Asset is equal to 50 lakhs minus 10 lakhs, 45 lakhs. And here asset balance is equal to 50 lakhs. First year depreciation 45 lakhs minus 5 lakhs is a salvage value divided by 10 years or 5 years, sorry. So depreciation is 9 lakhs. Sorry, this is 40 lakhs. Sorry, my friends. 40 lakhs. This is 7 lakhs depreciation P&L debit. Here, depreciation 50 lakhs minus salvage value 5 lakhs, 9 lakhs. And this is P&L debit. And here, deferred GG 5 lakhs. Deferred GG 5 lakhs. Oh, sorry, beta. Sorry, it's 10 lakhs. And deferred GG in P&L. In P&L, you will record 2 lakhs. How? 10 lakhs divided by 5 years. P&L credit. So net effect 7 lakhs debit, net effect. So either you go by first option or you may go by second option. Your P&L will be same, net effect will be same. ओके चलो, सो जल्दी से मुझे डिफरेंस बता दो. Deferred GG you will show under the head reserves and surplus. Where to show deferred GG? Under the head reserves and surplus. Remember, so can you tell me now the difference? सी एक बार मैं हिंदी में बता देता हूं. देखो, आप इधर इलस्ट्रेशन 1 से जाओ या इलस्ट्रेशन नंबर 2 से. देखो, पीएनएल में कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता, पर रिकॉर्ड करने का तरीका अलग है. पहले केस में क्या करते हो, 50 लाख एसेट है, 50 लाख में से 10 लाख माइनस किया, गवर्नमेंट ग्रांट मिला, वो एसेट में से माइनस किया. सो एसेट में से माइनस करना ये पहला ऑप्शन है. इलस्ट्रेशन नंबर 2 में आप एसेट में से माइनस नहीं करते हो, पर उधर एक टेम्पररी अकाउंट ओपन करते हो डेफर्ड जीजी नाम का. कौन सा अकाउंट ओपन करते हो? एसेट में से माइनस नहीं किया तो डेफर्ड जीजी नाम का एक अकाउंट ओपन करते हो और वो अकाउंट रिजर्व एंड सरप्लस हेड के अंडर बताते हो. अभी एसेट्स की वैल्यू है 50 लाख, उसमें से 10 लाख माइनस किया तो पहले ऑप्शन में 40 लाख की एसेट दिखेगी, पर दूसरे ऑप्शन में एसेट 50 लाख की दिखेगी और डेफर्ड जीजी जो होता है वो टेम्पररी अकाउंट आपने जो ओपन किया वो 10 लाख से दिखेगा. अभी पीएनएल में डेप्रिसिएशन में आप कितना डालोगे? 40 लाख माइनस 5 लाख, तो आपका 5 साल का ये पीएनएल में जाएगा डेप्रिसिएशन 7 लाख रुपया. 40 लाख आपके एसेट की वैल्यू दिख रही थी एंड 5 लाख सैल्वेज वैल्यू, तो वो माइनस करके आपका दिखेगा 7 लाख. पर बेटा सेकंड ऑप्शन से आप जाते हो, तो आपका 9 लाख रुपीज डिप्रिसिएशन दिखेगा, क्योंकि एसेट आपकी 45 लाख की दिखने वाली है सैल्वेज वैल्यू माइनस करके. और डेफर्ड जीजी में आपका 10 लाख रुपया था. ओवर द पीरियड मतलब 5 साल में आप डिवाइड करोगे तो आपका 2 लाख रुपीज पीएनएल के क्रेडिट में जाएगा. नेट इफेक्ट जो है वो 7 लाख रुपया दिखने वाला है. नेट इफेक्ट कितना दिखने वाला है? 7 लाख रुपया. ओके, सो डेफर्ड जीजी हम लोग दिखाएंगे 7 लाख रुपए से. नेट इफेक्ट विल बी 7 lakhs, but 9 lakhs on the P&L credit side and 7 lakhs on the C. So presentation I will show you presentations. If you want, you can write the presentation. Balance sheet, fixed asset. If you go by first case, after 1 year, fixed asset, you can see here it is 40 lakhs minus first year depreciation 7 lakhs. So it will be 33 lakhs. And here it is balance sheet after 1 year. Fixed asset 50 lakhs minus 9 lakhs. So you can see here it is 41 lakhs. And deferred GG on the liability side. 10 lakhs minus 2 lakhs 8 lakhs. 10 लाख उसमें से गया, yes, after 1 year. And P&L account 2 depre 7 lakhs. Here 2 depre 9 lakhs. And by deferred GG 2 lakhs. So see, in the first case, there is no balance under reserves and surplus. And in second year, after 1 year, yes, balance will be 41 lakhs. Can you tell me about second year balance sheet? Yes. Now you draw for second year. Yes, I explained you about first year. Very good, beta. Very good. Yogita ji, very good. So see, net effect is same. Net effect is, presentation differs, but net effect is same. Can you explain me about second year? Yes. What is the balance in the second year after depreciation? Second year, waiting for your answer. Second year. चलिए हो गया। In first year is over. In the second year, yes, now it's very easy, sir. In second year, after second year, it will be 27 lakhs, and this will be 41 lakhs minus 9 lakhs. So 32, no. Okay, 32 lakhs, and this will be 8 minus 2. This will be 6 lakhs. 32 and 33 minus 7. 33 minus 7, it will be 26 lakhs. Sorry, 26 lakhs. And P&L will be same. 26 lakhs. Very good. Very good. Very good. So first case 26 lakhs and second case it is 32 and 6 lakhs. ठीक है, easy था. चलो. So let's move to next concept now. Presentation of, yes, first one cash account debit to asset, depreciation to asset. Illustration number 1. And second case cash account debit to deferred GG and depreciation to asset and deferred GG to P&L. So these are the entries. बड़ा एंट्री समझ में आया क्या? एंट्री समझ में आया? And non-depreciable asset, if no conditions, this is very important chart. Yes, you want to write these entries, beta. Case number 1, you can take a screenshot for illustration number 1. For illustration number 1, you can take a screenshot. Easy છે ના standard? For illustration number 2, you can take a screenshot. For ILU 2. एकदम easy है. So very easy. This chart is very important, not depreciable. This is very important. If no conditions, this is very important because theory में इतना clear नहीं होगा. So beta, if it is non-related to presentation of, this presentation is not related to depreciable asset. If not related to depreciable asset, this is for non-depreciable asset, beta. If no conditions, then cash to capital reserve, and if conditions, then cash to deferred GG and deferred GG to P&L. Deferred GG to P&L. So see, this is very important in case of depreciable asset. In case of non-depreciable assets, see, in case of non-depreciable asset, fulfillment of certain obligations, then credited over the specific period. Okay, so this is very important. And no condition, then it is a capital reserve. If there are no conditions, see, यदि non-depreciable asset है, for example land, और कुछ condition ही नहीं है, तो आप directly capital reserve में डाल दो. कहाँ पे डाल दो? Capital reserve में. पर लैंड बोला हुआ है कि 10 साल तक आप ये लैंड से यहाँ पे शिफ्ट नहीं हो सकते, तो 10 साल तक आपको डेफर्ड जीजी करके अकाउंट क्रिएट करना है और वो डेफर्ड जीजी टू पीएनएल, डेफर्ड जीजी टू पीएनएल ये एंट्री पास करते जाना है। सो ये याद रखना। ओके, यदि आपको लैंड लेने के लिए गवर्नमेंट ने पैसा दिया, कैश दिया, लैंड ही दे दिया तो नॉन मॉनिटरी एसेट, पर लैंड लेने के लिए आपने गवर्नमेंट ने ग्रांट दिया, सो आप क्या एंट्री पास करोगे? कैश टू कैपिटल रिजर्व। यदि कोई भी कंडीशन आप पे रखी नहीं है और गवर्नमेंट ने बोला मैं ग्रांट देता हूं पर मुझे अपने ये लैंड बेचनी नहीं है नेक्स्ट 10 ईयर्स तक, तो आपने क्या करना है? कैश टू डेफर्ड जीजी 10 लाख एंड डेफर्ड जीजी टू पीएनएल हर साल 1 लाख। थर्ड वन, लैंड रिलेटेड टू रेवेन्यू इन नेचर। चलो फर्स्ट वन इज नॉन मॉनिटरी एसेट। फॉर नॉन मॉनिटरी एसेट गवर्नमेंट ने ग्रांट दिया, मींस फॉर लैंड दे दिया। सो इफ गवर्नमेंट हैज गिवन यू द लैंड, इन दैट केस व्हाट इज द एंट्री? यू विल रिकॉर्ड दैट लैंड एट 100 rupees. If land is given, not cash is given for land, and if cash is given, then beta there are two cases. One is depreciable, one is non-depreciable. Depreciable में again you have two options. One is you deduct it from the asset. Second one you will create deferred GG. And for non-depreciable asset, if conditions are not there, then directly capital reserve. And if conditions are there, you will open deferred GG account. Okay, you will open deferred GG account if conditions put on you. Okay, so these are some conditions. I know this is very tricky, but yes, please make a chart of this. Today only you revise all these questions. You will find this chapter very easy and 100% marks you will get. So first one is, yes, jaldi se batao. First kya tha? Non-monetary asset. Non-monetary asset means land is given or other resources. Land is given at free of cost. Still we will record it at 100 rupees. Still we will record it at 100 rupees. And other resources, you are aware about that. Concessional rate pe diya rahega to concessional rate. Okay, and non-concessional rate matlab no concession is given, then free of cost hoga to at nominal rate 100 rupees, 1000 rupees at this value. Second one, related to specific assets, specific fixed asset. Now fixed asset again divided in two parts, depreciable, non-depreciable. Depreciable matlab kya? Depreciable hoga to there are two conditions. One option number one, you can go by option one, that is deduction from the asset. ऑप्शन नंबर 2, यू विल ओपन डेफर्ड जीजी अकाउंट. कौन सा अकाउंट आप ओपन करोगे? डेफर्ड जीजी अकाउंट ओपन करोगे और डेफर्ड जीजी थोड़ा थोड़ा पीएनएल में डालते जाओगे. सेकंड ऑप्शन से गए तो बेटा नॉन डिप्रिसिएबल एसेट. देयर अगेन टू, देयर आर कंडीशंस. नो कंडीशंस कैपिटल रिजर्व, कंडीशंस डेफर्ड जीजी. सिंपल. यस. Vanathi is saying, sir, your slide preparations are awesome. Thank you बेटा. It's only for you. बहुत मेहनत की है, सालों के साल मेहनत करते आया हूं, तब ये फल पाया है. एंड योर रिजल्ट आर वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट फॉर मी. चलो, गवर्नमेंट ग्रांट रिलेटेड टू रिजर्व्स. गवर्नमेंट ग्रांट रिलेटेड टू रिजर्व्स. रेवेन्यू बेटा, इफ यू आर गेटिंग अ गवर्नमेंट ग्रांट फॉर day-to-day nature, day-to-day activities, so how to show it under balance sheet? No beta, you will credit it to profit and loss account. Where to credit it? Profit and loss account. Where to credit it? Under profit and loss account. Either you record it as other income or deduction from expenses. Very easy. For day-to-day income, you will record it as other income, and otherwise you will deduct it from expenses. You can say no बेटा, डेफर्ड जीजी पीएनएल में जाता रहेगा क्रेडिट साइड पे. हाँ, ऐसा हम लोग, डेफर्ड जीजी कम होता जाएगा, प्रोविजन फॉर डेप्रिसिएशन इज इंक्रीजिंग बेटा. सो चरण तेजा, you have confusion beta. Deferred GG is going to reduce every year and provision for depreciation is going to add beta. So there is no similarity between this. So third option is revenue in nature. Yes, we have finished with this. Credited to profit and loss account. It's very simple, sir. It's very simple. And last one is related to promoters contribution. Promoters contribution, normally no repayment is expected. So promoters means they will not participate in day-to-day activities, but they will help you out. So government is giving you some, push कि आपको थोड़ा सा धक्का मिलेगा कि बिजनेस आगे रन करने के लिए. So government is contributing as a promoters, and they won't participate in your day-to-day activities, but this is just help from the government side. So normally no repayment is expected, and this will be credited to capital reserve and no dividend. Yes, remember this reserves. So you'll get the question on this whether dividend. This is this promoters contribution you can pay dividend out of this? No, definitely not. And it's a common sense beta. Government is giving you the amount not to pay dividend, but for business purpose, how you can distribute dividend out of this. So this is a question normally in exam, they may ask you for 4 marks, whether this is allowed. No. So though it is received in the cash, but we do not pay dividend out of this. Okay. So not available for dividend. Illustration number 4 is based on this concept. Over illustration number 3 and 4 we are going to solve. So read illustration number 3, illustration number 3, illustration number 3. Chalo. Yes, first read illustration number 3 and then read illustration number 4. First read it. So 8 crores received from a government and company distributed 2 crores, not available for distribution of dividend. And government is getting, second situation, government is getting a land of free of cost. So free of cost, it will be recorded at nominal value. So very simple question. There are 2 questions, beta. 2 questions. Question number 1. So this is question number 2. And setting up a factory, you are getting a 2 crores rupees. Yes, very easy question. Chalo. Next one. ILU 4. Chalo, ILU 4, top and top limited. Tell me your suggestion for ILU 4. ILU 4 का suggestion दीजिए फटाफट. ILU 4, I want the answer. Don't refer your answer. Please read it carefully. चलिए. So Top and Top Limited has set up a business in the designated backward area, which entitles the company to receive the government of India subsidy of 20% of the cost of investment, for which no repayment was ordinarily expected. Moreover, there was no condition that the company should purchase any specific asset for the subsidy. Having fulfilled all these conditions under the scheme, the government made the investment in the capital asset received from assets received as rupees 10 crores from the government in January 2002. The company was to treat this receipt as a revenue. No matter how it can be a revenue in nature. So see, if government is getting this grant, it is recorded as a promoter's contribution related to this, and promoter's contribution, because this is like investment which is given and no repayment is ordinarily expected. So it is a capital reserve, where to treat it as एज अ कैपिटल रिजर्व, डोंट ट्रीट इट एज डेफर्ड इनकम और डिविडेंड डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन के लिए. द सब्सिडी इन्वेस्टेड इन द रिलेशन टू फिक्स एसेट नॉट इन रिलेशन टू रेवेन्यू. तो यहां पे गवर्नमेंट ग्रांट इन P&L अकाउंट इज रॉन्ग एंड गवर्नमेंट हैज अ कैन रिकॉर्ड दिस एज डिडक्शन फ्रॉम दी okay without related cost. So the correct treatment is credit the subsidy to capital reserve and company's treatment is not correct. So here company treatment is not proper. So very simple question. So government is getting this grant for developing or setting up their company in the backward area. देखो एक बार हिंदी में बता देता हूँ. सेटिंग अप करना है आपको, गवर्नमेंट ग्रांट मिली है, बैकवर्ड एरिया में आपको आपकी पूरा का पूरा प्लान सेट करना है. तो गवर्नमेंट जब ये एरिया प्लान सेट कर रहा है इधर बैकवर्ड एरिया में, सो बैकवर्ड एरिया में हम लोग क्या करेंगे, बैकवर्ड एरिया में ये डिडक्शन फ्रॉम दी एसेट बताना है या P&L में बताना है या प्रोमोटर्स कंट्रीब्यूशन करके बताना है. तो करेक्ट आंसर इज प्रोमोटर्स कंट्रीब्यूशन. और ये रेवेन्यू इन नेचर का दिखा नहीं सकते हैं और ये डेफर्ड जीजी करके भी नहीं दिखा सकते या P&L के क्रेडिट में भी नहीं दिखा सकते. अब ये जो क्वेश्चन है ये आपका एग्जाम में आया हुआ क्वेश्चन है, अभी के लेटेस्ट एग्जाम में. 35 लाख रुपीज रिसीव्ड फ्रॉम द लोकल अथॉरिटी फॉर प्रोवाइडिंग मेडिकल फैसिलिटी टू इट्स एम्प्लॉइज. तो मेडिकल फैसिलिटीज के लिए मिला होगा तो क्रेडिट टू प्रॉफिट एंड लॉस अकाउंट, आइदर अदर इनकम करके बताओ या रिलेटेड एक्सपेंस में से माइनस करके बताओ. सो ये रेवेन्यू इन नेचर है, यहाँ पे लिख सकते हो. And 100 lakhs is received for the notified in the backward area as a promoter's contribution. तो आप उसको कैपिटल रिजर्व को क्रेडिट करो. एकदम सिंपल है, एकदम सिंपल है. इसको क्रेडिट करो, कैपिटल रिजर्व को क्रेडिट करो. लास्ट पार्ट है, थोड़े से पेशेंस रखो, स्टैंडर्ड ही खत्म हो जाएगा, कुछ दम ही नहीं है अभी स्टैंडर्ड में. एक सिर्फ लास्ट पार्ट आपको बताना है, खत्म हो गया. ऑलमोस्ट वी आर डन विद दिस स्टैंडर्ड, ऑलमोस्ट एट द एंड. 10 से 15 मिनट बस. आज थोड़ा सा मुझे लेट होगा छोड़ने के लिए, प्लीज प्लीज प्लीज. यस, अदरवाइज वन ऑप्शन टू यू, बिकॉज रिफंड यही एक इंपॉर्टेंट पार्ट है. सो आई एम गिविंग यू वन ऑप्शन दैट यू डू दिस इलस्ट्रेशन टुडे ओनली एंड इन नेक्स्ट 15 to 20 minutes in next session we will see the answers of refund. I will explain you the concept of refund. I will explain you the concept of refund, and in next session, in first 15 to 20 minutes, we will start with the refund part, and then we will end it. We will start with accounting standard 11 in the next session. Okay, so accounting standard 11 में next session में मैं लेना चाहता हूँ. I hope you connected with this accounting standard 12 is very easy. Only the last part is remaining, that is the S12. Lot of homework. You have to write many charts in the notebook. Yes, you can see my sessions once again. Whenever I am telling you to take a screenshot, instead of that, you can pause it and you can have notes in your notebook. Please, today itself or within 2 days, finish your accounting standard book, because accounting standard notes, if you don't prepare this properly and if you rely on the study material notes, because at the time of revision, it will be very difficult. So it's my suggestion to you, please complete your homework today itself. Write it, and there are many students who are writing it and they are sharing the screenshots or they share their PDF files in our Telegram channel, and I'm very happy that I'm normally I've seen such students that they are providing this information to other students. Please take a benefit, but it's always better that you write it in your own way. You finish your charts, you finish your all illustration parts. So today you have to finish 2 accounting standard, 1 also and 12 also. So क्या करना है? यस बेटा चरण तेजा, यस डेफिनेटली. पता ही नहीं चला 8:30 हो गए. ओके, बेटा टुडे आई एम नॉट फीलिंग वेल, ओनली बाय टेकिंग डोलो आई एम हियर. ओके, स्टिल हैव द सेम एनर्जी एंड सेम एंथुजियाज्म टिल लास्ट मिनट. ओके, सो मेरा सेशन मैंने किधर भी ऐसा भगाया नहीं है. आई ट्राइड माई बेस्ट. आई हैव गिवन यू प्रॉपर टाइमिंग टू रीड द क्वेश्चन, एंड नाउ इट्स योर टाइम टू रीड इट एंड राइट इट. प्लीज प्रॉमिस मी इन नेक्स्ट सेशन यू विल फिनिश विथ ऑल दिस चार्ट्स एंड इलस्ट्रेशंस इन योर ओन वे. Yes. Yes, beta, definitely. When I'm going to start with my revision batches in Pune branch, I'm going to give you Zoom meetings ka link. No problem. Yes, we are starting it within 5 to 7 days only. So don't worry. Chalo. So refund part is very, very important. If why there is a refund, sir? Why there is a refund? And refund is, remember, refund is extraordinary item. It is not day-to-day item. In P&L account, you will record it separately as the extraordinary. Extraordinary means what? Extraordinary item means it is exceptional in nature. It has some extraordinary part. Okay. So when you when government is claiming refund from you, remember it means you have to show it separately in your profit and loss account. Extraordinary means you have to show it separately. You cannot add it in miscellaneous expenses or other items of P&L. You have to show it separately. That is extraordinary item. Extraordinary item मतलब जो आपको separately show करना पड़ता है उसको हम लोग extraordinary item बोलते हैं. Certain conditions. Okay. Certain conditions are not fulfilled. In that case, it is called as extraordinary items. Refund are related to assets, related to revenue, and related to promoter's contribution. Now, tell me, refund means reversal entry. Reversal entry. So here you have two options. Option number one, fixed asset account debit to cash account because cash goes out. Fixed asset account debit to cash. Here, deferred GG account debit, balancing figure P&L account debit, balancing figure to cash account. Okay. So whatever cash goes out, related to revenue in nature, P&L account debit to cash, and promoter's contribution in nature. Now promoter's contribution you credited to capital reserve. So capital reserve account debit to cash. See, in every situation, cash account is credited. In every situation, cash account is credited. And today's your homework. Is illustration 6, 8, 9. Yes, I will explain you this concept in the next session in next 20 minutes. So please take a screenshot of this. I know today you have to write many things. Refund. Yes. बहुत ज्यादा होमवर्क हो गया सर जी. कितना लिखेगा बच्चा? सीए कर रहा है तो करना ही पड़ेगा बेटा. वाह, till last minute attention. Very good. I'm very happy. Many students attended till last minute. Aaj. Very good. I know accounting standards are difficult, but still you have patience till last minute. Disclosures part. Yes. Methods of disclosures. ठीक है. Method of presentations and nature and extent of GG recognize. ठीक है. So thank you. Yes, ये थोड़ा thank you stylish लिख लेता हूँ. हाँ, thank you. I hope you enjoyed this. चलो एक 5 मिनट में पूरा रिवीजन मारेंगे. ये 5 मिनट एक बार इंग्लिश में एक बार हिंदी में पूरा रिवीजन होगा. पूरा इंग्लिश एंड पूरा हिंदी फ्रॉम अकाउंटिंग स्टैंडर्ड 1 टू अकाउंटिंग स्टैंडर्ड 12. ओके, एकदम रिवीजन. और ये 5 मिनट का रिवीजन कब रीड करना है, कब लिसनिंग करना है? एट द टाइम ऑफ एग्जाम. ओके, नोट डाउन इट समवेयर कि आई हैव टू listen sir's last 5 minutes revision. Okay, it will help you out at the time of revision. Chalo. So till now, any difficulty? Yes, I'm waiting for your difficulty. Otherwise 5 minutes ka revision. Quick revision from first one to last one. Okay. Yes. Any question? Refund questions, please finish it. Refund question, please finish it. If you have any query, you can ask me. Otherwise, wait for last 5 minutes. Yaar, 5 minutes. I'm waiting for your questions. If you have any query related to this standard, you can ask me. Chalo. I don't think you have any question. Yes, teaching is अच्छा है, so don't worry. So accounting standard 1. Accounting standard 1 is nothing but disclosure of accounting policy. Now, disclosure of accounting policy, why this standard is important, whether this is general standard or a specific standard, no better, this is general standard applicable to all next standards, S2, S3. So in this standard, accounting standard 1 talks about how to present your financial statement, what you have to present, what you don't have to present, and when to, how to select the policy. So first one, what are policies? Policies is nothing but principles that you adopted while the preparation of the financial statements. So principles or methods that you adopt at the time of preparation of the financial statement. Now, which type of policies you are following? FIFO method or LIFO method or weighted average method, cash flow statement, direct, indirect, lease may, accounting for finance lease, operating lease. So there are n number of policies that you are following. So sometimes you don't have to write that sentences that I am following this policy. That is called as fundamental assumption. It is assumed that you are preparing in the such way that fundamental assumptions are there. So you don't have to write it every time ki I am following this accrual concept of accounting. It is assumed that you are following the accrual concept of accounting. You are following going concern concept, that your business will continue for the foreseeable future. Or next one is a consistency, that previous year policy you continued with the next year policy. So suppose if there is a change, you have to disclose it. So fundamental assumption, if you are not following it, then you have to disclose it in your notes to accounts. But if you don't disclose it, it is not an issue. After that, whenever there is a confusion, which policy has to be selected? In that case, there is selection of accounting policy. There are three principles. One is substance over form. Second one is the prudence concept. And third one is substance over form, prudence, and materiality. Prudence concept talks about anticipated losses are recorded, but anticipated profits are not recorded. Substance over form, don't look at the legal ownership, but see the substance of the transaction, who is the user of that asset, that you have to see. And last one is the materiality. If it is not influence the decision of the user, then it is immaterial and you can record it in the profit and loss account, or you don't record separately. Okay, so that is the immateriality. After that, yes, if you are changing the policy due to change in the law, change in the accounting standard, or for better presentation, then in that case, if amount of change, suppose that previous policy and current policy, if the amount is known, that fact amount is known, then you have to disclose that profit, how it gets affected. And suppose if you don't know about the amount, the fact of that, if that amount is not aware, that fact has to be recorded in the current year. And suppose if it does not affect the current period, but it affects the next period, then also you have to mention that amounts in the next period. After that, this is the accounting standard 1, very simple. So only few points are there, but this is difficult from the writing point of view. So I hope every one of you will practice it properly. So this is the accounting standard 1. Now, what about accounting standard 12? Accounting standard 12 is not a general standard, but it's the accounting standard and not disclosure standard. Accounting standard, why it is accounting standard? Because it talks about how to do accounting for government grant. What is a government grant? Government grant means not regular day-to-day business with the government, but it is a cash assistance or any kind of assistance which is received from the government. It's called as government grant. So here there are some scope outs, exemptions, and GST exemptions declared or income tax exemptions are not covered by government grant. Remember, this grant is specifically in 4 parts. One is a non-monetary asset. Second one is a fixed asset. Third one is a revenue in nature, and fourth one is a promoter's contribution. If it is related to non-monetary asset, in the case of land, it is recorded at the free of cost, then it is recorded at nominal value. And if it is other resources, if it is at concessional rate, you will record it at concessional rate, and free of cost, it will be recorded at free nominal value. In case of specific fixed asset, again divided in 2 parts, depreciable and non-depreciable. Depreciable, you have 2 options. Option number 1, you will deduct it from the specific fixed asset, and option number 2 is a deferred GG. And in case of non-depreciable asset, if there are conditions, you will record it as a deferred GG, and if there are no conditions, you will record it as a capital reserve. Third one is a revenue in nature. You will record it in the profit and loss account, that the day-to-day activities you are getting any government grant. And last one is for promoter's contribution. You will record it in the capital reserve, and in that case, you cannot use that dividend capital reserve for the dividend purpose. This is all for accounting standard 12. एक बार हिंदी में पूरा का पूरा रिवीजन ले लेंगे, बस बाकी कुछ है ही नहीं है स्टैंडर्ड में. सो आई होप यू एंजॉयड अ लॉट इन इंग्लिश ऑल्सो. एंड एक बार हिंदी वालों के लिए ओके तो चलो हिंदी वालों के लिए एक बार समझने की कोशिश करते हैं. अकाउंटिंग स्टैंडर्ड 1 जो होता है, अकाउंटिंग स्टैंडर्ड 1, ये डिस्क्लोजर ऑफ अकाउंटिंग पॉलिसीज, ये हालांकि एकदम बेसिक स्टैंडर्ड है. ये कोई भी ऐसा स्पेसिफिक स्टैंडर्ड नहीं है. ये सभी लोग फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट्स के लिए, जो भी इंटरप्राइजेस है उनके लिए एक जनरल स्टैंडर्ड इंस्टीट्यूट ने इशू किया हुआ है कि आपने डिस्क्लोज क्या करना चाहिए. बेसिकली कुछ चीजें आपको फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट में नोट्स टू अकाउंट्स थ्रू डिस्क्लोज करना पड़ता है, पर यहाँ पे ये स्टैंडर्ड जो है ना, वो बताता है कि कुछ चीजें आपको एक्सप्लेन करने की, डिस्क्लोज करने की जरूरत नहीं, बिकॉज इट इज फंडामेंटली एज्यूम होता है कि ये आप फॉलो करते ही जा रहे हो. फॉर एग्जांपल, आपकी बिजनेस गोइंग कंसर्न फोर्सेबल फ्यूचर तक चलेगा. इट इज एज्यूम कि आपका बिजनेस फोर्सेबल फ्यूचर तक चलने वाला है. नहीं चलता रहता तो डिस्क्लोज करो. सेकंड वन, यदि आपका एक्रुअल कॉन्सेप्ट है, एक्रुअल कॉन्सेप्ट मतलब एक्सपेंडिचर इंकर होता है या इनकम अर्न होता है, वो रिकॉर्ड करेंगे, ना कि रिसीट एंड पेमेंट हम लोग रिकॉर्ड करेंगे. तो आपके बुक्स ये एक्रुअल कॉन्सेप्ट ही फॉलो होने चाहिए. नहीं फॉलो करते रहेंगे तो नोट्स टू अकाउंट अकाउंट में बताओ, वो अलाउड ही नहीं है। एंड तीसरा जो कॉन्सेप्ट है ये होता है कंसिस्टेंसी, ये मतलब आप सालों के साल वही पॉलिसी से आप चलते आ रहे, आप हर साल ऐसा चेंज नहीं करते हो। चेंज कर सकते हो यदि रिक्वायर्ड बाय अकाउंटिंग स्टैंडर्ड और स्टैट्यूट और फॉर बेटर प्रेजेंटेशन होगा तो आप ये बदल सकते हो। उसके बाद आपको ये याद रखना है कि जब भी आपके पॉलिसी में कंफ्यूजन होता है, पॉलिसी में कंफ्यूजन होता है मतलब ये पॉलिसी सिलेक्ट करूं या दूसरी पॉलिसी सिलेक्ट करूं, तो वहां पे आपको तीन कॉन्सेप्ट देखने हैं, सब्सटेंस ओवर फॉर्म देखना है, प्रूडेंस कॉन्सेप्ट देखना है, और तीसरा जो होता है वो मटेरियलिटी देखना है। सब्सटेंस ओवर फॉर्म मतलब क्या, लीगल ओनरशिप जो होती है वो मत देखना, बट आप यूज कौन कर रहा है एसेट को वो देखना। जैसे कि हमने हायर परचेस में किया था, वेंडर के बुक्स में कभी एसेट रिकॉर्ड नहीं की थी, परचेसर के बुक में किया था, हालांकि वेंडर ये लास्ट इंस्टॉलमेंट तक खुद ही ओनर होता है, फिर भी हमने यूजर के बुक्स में डिप्रिसिएशन रिकॉर्ड किया था। दूसरा देखा था प्रूडेंस कॉन्सेप्ट, जिसमें हमने देखा था एंटीसिपेटेड लॉसेस अपने को रिकॉर्ड करने, एंटीसिपेटेड प्रॉफिट्स नहीं रिकॉर्ड करने। एंड तीसरा हमने देखा था मटेरियलिटी, मटेरियलिटी में देखा था कि भाई इमटेरियल आइटम्स होंगे, आपके डिसीजन यदि उससे चेंज नहीं होता है तो पीएनएल में डाल दिया मिसलेनियस एक्सपेंस के अंदर, या आपने उतना एसेट नहीं भी बताया तो भी चलेगा, इट इज इमटेरियल, जिससे डिसीजन में यूजर के चेंज नहीं होने चाहिए। हालांकि इसमें आपने देखा था कि जब भी पॉलिसी आप चेंज करते हो तो करंट ईयर के फिगर्स जो होते हैं वो फैक्ट्स एंड सर्कमस्टेंसेस आपको बताने पड़ते हैं, अमाउंट के साथ बताने पड़ते हैं। यदि अमाउंट की पता नहीं है तो आप ये फैक्ट डिस्क्लोज करो कि मुझे अमाउंट पता नहीं पर ये आपके प्रॉफिट को अफेक्ट करने वाला है, ये आपको डिस्क्लोज करना पड़ेगा। सो ये था अकाउंटिंग स्टैंडर्ड 12, सॉरी अकाउंटिंग स्टैंडर्ड 1। अकाउंटिंग स्टैंडर्ड 12 के बारे में हम लोग बात कर लेते हैं कि गवर्नमेंट ग्रांट, गवर्नमेंट ग्रांट ये एक्चुअली अकाउंटिंग स्टैंडर्ड है, ना कि आपका डिस्क्लोजर स्टैंडर्ड है। अकाउंटिंग स्टैंडर्ड में हमने ये देखा था कि ये अकाउंटिंग फॉर गवर्नमेंट ग्रांट मतलब ग्रांट कितना रिसीव हुआ। अब ये ग्रांट मतलब क्या, एनी कैश, कैश भी मिलता है या आपको काइन में कुछ मिलता है तो उसको हम लोग गवर्नमेंट ग्रांट करके बुलाते हैं। अब ये गवर्नमेंट ग्रांट जो होती है वो चार टाइप की गवर्नमेंट ग्रांट होती है। एक होता है नॉन मॉनिटरी एसेट्स के लिए, एक होता है मॉनिटरी एसेट मतलब स्पेसिफिक एसेट्स के लिए, एक होता है रेवेन्यू इन नेचर, एंड चौथा होता है प्रोमोटर्स कंट्रीब्यूशन। यदि आपकी एसेट ये नॉन मॉनिटरी है मतलब कैश आपको मिला नहीं है, लैंड मिला है और अदर रिसोर्सेस मिले, लैंड मिला है तो आप लैंड को कंसेशनल रेट पे रिकॉर्ड करोगे, सॉरी नॉमिनल रेट पे रिकॉर्ड करोगे, और यदि अदर रिसोर्सेस आपको कंसेशनल रेट पे मिले तो कंसेशनल रेट, और फ्री ऑफ कॉस्ट मिले हैं तो आपको रिकॉर्ड करना है वो नॉमिनल वैल्यू पे। यदि एसेट्स आपकी स्पेसिफिक एसेट्स है, डेप्रिसिएबल और नॉन डेप्रिसिएबल, ये दो पार्ट्स के अंदर डिवाइड होगा। डेप्रिसिएबल होगा तो ऑप्शन नंबर 1 एसेट में से ही आप उसकी वैल्यू माइनस कर दोगे, जितना गवर्नमेंट ग्रांट मिला है 10 लाख मिला, 50 लाख में से 10 लाख माइनस कर दिया। अदरवाइज लाइबिलिटी साइड पे रिजर्व एंड सरप्लस के अंदर डेफर्ड जीजी करके एक अकाउंट ओपन करेंगे और वो डेफर्ड जीजी ओवर द पीरियड पीएनएल में चलता रहेगा, चलता रहेगा, चलता रहेगा। उसके बाद यदि नॉन डेप्रिसिएबल एसेट्स होती है तो वो केस में आपको वापस दो चीजें देखनी है कि कंडीशन उसमें डाली है या कंडीशन नहीं डाली है। कंडीशन नहीं डाली है तो कैपिटल रिजर्व में जाएगा, और कंडीशंस डाली है तो उसको डेफर्ड जीजी करके बताएंगे, और जितने साल के लिए कंडीशंस डाला है उतने साल में वो पीएनएल में चलता रहेगा, इतना याद रखिए। तो ये दो चीजें थे। तीसरी होती है एसेट्स रिलेटेड टू गवर्नमेंट ग्रांट इज रिलेटेड टू रेवेन्यू इन नेचर। रेवेन्यू इन नेचर होगा तो बैंक अकाउंट डेबिट टू एसेट अकाउंट, ये आपकी सॉरी बैंक अकाउंट डेबिट टू रेवेन्यू अकाउंट, ये आपको एंट्री करनी है बैंक टू पीएनएल में। एंड प्रोमोटर्स कंट्रीब्यूशन करके किया तो बैंक अकाउंट डेबिट टू कैपिटल रिजर्व में करना है, और कैपिटल रिजर्व डिविडेंड के लिए हालांकि आपके लिए नहीं अवेलेबल होगा। नेक्स्ट वन, जब रिफंड होता है तो रिफंड में सभी एंट्रीज को आपको रिवर्स करना है, मतलब कैश सब में क्रेडिट करना है। यदि एसेट ये लैंड से रिलेटेड होगी तो आप एंट्री पास करोगे लैंड अकाउंट डेबिट टू कैश या एनी अदर सोर्सेस अकाउंट डेबिट टू कैश। उसके बाद आपने यदि मॉनिटरी एसेट्स के लिए मतलब स्पेसिफिक एसेट्स के लिए क्या रहेगा तो आपको एसेट अकाउंट डेबिट टू बैंक का एंट्री करना है। ऑप्शन नंबर 1 से गए तो, ऑप्शन नंबर 2 से गए तो डेफर्ड जीजी अकाउंट डेबिट, पीएनएल अकाउंट डेबिट टू कैश। रेवेन्यू इन नेचर की लैंड होगी, ग्रांट रहेगी तो आपको पीएनएल अकाउंट डेबिट टू कैश एंट्री पास करनी है। एंड प्रोमोटर्स कंट्रीब्यूशन की होगी तो कैपिटल रिजर्व अकाउंट डेबिट टू कैश, ये एंट्री आपको पास करनी है। यहां पे हमारा अकाउंटिंग स्टैंडर्ड खत्म होता है। आई होप यू एंजॉयड टिल लास्ट मिनट, और यही एनर्जी से आपको आज पढ़ते रहना है और लास्ट मिनट तक आपको सभी चार्ट्स लिखने हैं और नोट्स आपको बराबर बनाने हैं, ये मेरी रिक्वेस्ट है आप सबको। और नेक्स्ट सेशन में हम लोग और एनर्जी से आएंगे नया स्टैंडर्ड लेके, अकाउंटिंग स्टैंडर्ड 11। सो आई होप यू एंजॉयड एंड विल मीट ऑन ट्यूसडे। थैंक यू टिल दैट। रामजी ओवर।